Hello students, this is Mahesh sir. I think all of known that regarding online classes. So our transportation engineering subject is started from today onwards, online classes. Already we are completing first unit and third unit, and some part of second unit also completed, I think. But once again I remember you the second unit up to completed syllabus. See, our second unit is highway geometric design. Highway geometric design introduction part, and geometric design highway deals with some elements. These are all already we are discussing in uh, classwork previously. But once again I repeated you, I remember you. Yeah, all of you know that geometric design deals with the dimension and layout visible features of highways such as horizontal and vertical alignment and side distance and intersections. Already side distance, intersections already we are deal and geometric highway should be some traffic operations also. It should be deal for the reasonable cost. There are some geometric design of highway deals with the following elements: cross-sectional elements, side distance considerations, horizontal alignment details, vertical alignment details, intersection elements. In that, first we are going to the cross-sectional elements. In that cross-sectional elements, there are some topics already discussed. And that first one is pavement surface characteristics: width of the pavement or carriageway, cross slopes or camber, median or traffic separator, curbs, road margins, width of formations. Now we see the diagram of cross section of the road. In that cross section, cross slopes are there, shoulder is shown, roadway, total entire width of the pavement, and drainage, clear zones, drainage ditches, hinge points, or these are all seen in that image. And first, pavement surface characteristics. In that pavement surface characteristics, there are four types of pavement surface characteristics are there: friction, unevenness, light reflecting characteristics, drainage of surface water. These are all the pavement surface characteristics. Friction, unevenness, you know that friction, I think regarding in between the tires and road, mainly depending upon this friction. Unevenness of the road, I think all of you know that. Light reflection characteristics also. These are all already discussed, but once I want to remember. Width of the pavement or carriageway. Width of the pavement, see in this diagram. One second. Yeah. See this diagram. Two-way road. There are both ends of some white stretches are there, white marking lines are there. These, in between these two white markings, the total width of the pavement is called as a carriageway. In definition, we are defined that it is the total width of the road on which vehicles are allowed to move. This is the total width of the road in which vehicles are allowed to move. The width of the pavement depends on the width of the traffic lane and number of lanes. There are two lane road are there, 4 lane road are there, 6 lane road are there. Depending upon the roads, depending upon the traffic, there are different lanes of road are there. So based on that lanes, the width of the pavement is and width of the lane is decided based on the maximum width of the heavy commercial vehicles. Heavy commercial vehicles which is legally permitted to use the roadway. Commercial vehicles means the trucks, some goods carriage vehicles. Those are called as commercial vehicles. Generally, that vehicles are carried huge tonnage of goods. So based on that, we have to provide some additional lanes or some national highways, like national highways. Based on that, the width of the pavement also decided. See, here there is two diagrams are there again. Width of the pavement regarding lateral placement of vehicles and lateral placement of vehicles, 2 lane road, single lane pavement, 2 lane pavement. These are the some images, for example images for the width of the pavement. See in that the vehicle 2.5 meters width of the vehicle is there. The lane width is 3.75 meters is provided, general carriageway width. Here there are two types of vehicles. The vehicle width is 2.5 meters, in between that 1 meter is extended to be relieved. The total width of the pavement for a 2-lane road is 7 meters. So like that, as per the IRC, in the table we have to see that as per the IRC, the width of the pavements are different types. See, based on the different rates, see, single lane road 3.75 meters, 2-lane without raised curb. In previously we had discussed about the curb also, but once again I will write it in picture. Without raised curb, the 2-lane roads is 7 meters. 2-lane road with raised curb, if the raised curb is provided, 7.5 meters. Because without raised curb, 5 meters. Why the 5 meters is not considered is there are some shoulder is there. We have to use that shoulder for the vehicle overtaking or stopping side distance. Also we have to use that 0.5 meters, but with raised curb there is no movement to cross the road. So that's why that provided 0.5 meters excess, 7.5 meters. And intermediate carriageway 5.5 meters. Multi-lane pavement 3.5. Multi-lane pavement is more than the 2 lanes, 3 lanes. That is 3.5 meters per each lane. Okay. Next, cross slope or camber. Cross slope or camber is provided for the road surface transfer direction. Generally it is defined as it is the slope provided in the transfer direction. What is the purpose of this camber is drainage and disposal of the water from the pavement is considered important to become a following reasons. So see what is the reasons to provide a camber is to maintain stability surface condition and increase the life of the pavement. To maintain stability surface condition. Why? Because if the camber is not provided, the rainwater is not dropping from the pavement. It may causes the pavement should be destroyed by the rainwater eroded. The pavement may be damaged by earlier. So that's why we have to provide it to drain the rainwater for the camber and to prevent stripping of bitumen from the aggregate. If the rainwater is stagnant there, if the rainwater is not drained from the road pavement, bitumen and some material aggregate is to be maybe stripping means that may be divided from the bitumen, so that may cause road may be damaged by the earlier. So that's why we have to provide that camber. And one more reason is there to prevent the slipping of the vehicle in running at a high speed. If we have to provided flat surface, the vehicle may be slipping due to the centrifugal force, due to the non-centrifugal force it may be slipping. So that's why this camber is provided. Some amount of centrifugal force is to be reflected by this camber. This is also one of the reason for the providing of the camber. The rate of camber or cross slope is to usually designated by the 1 in n, 1 in 2, 1 in 3, 1 in 50, 1 in 40, like that we have to pronounce that camber. It can be expressed in terms of percentage also. See in that table, below the table is there, these are the values for the camber recommended by the IRC for the different types of road surfaces are given below. See the type of road, range of the camber area, heavy rainfall areas, low rainfall areas. See cement, concrete and thick bituminous surface roads is provided 1 in 50. 1 in 50 means 2% at the heavy rainfall areas, and the low rainfall areas 1 in 60, that is 1.7%. The bituminous surface 1 in 40 or 2.5%, 1 in 50 or 2%. Waterborne macadam or gravel pavements 1 in 33 or 3% at heavy rainfall areas. At low rainfall areas 1 in 40 or 2.5%. In earthen roads 1 in 25 or 4% at heavy rainfall areas. Because of that, earthen roads generally it is easy to eroded by the rainwater flowing. So that's why you have to provide the 4% of rainwater at heavy rainfall areas. At low rainfall areas 1 in 33 or 3%. And these cross slopes or camber shapes are three types: parabolic in shape, straight line camber, combination of both parabolic and. So these three types of cambers we have to see in the diagram at the slide number 16. We have to see. Yeah, these are the three diagrams: parabolic, A parabolic in shape, B straight line in camber, and C combination of both parabolic and camber. So here in one difficult parabolic in shape, you know that is a curved shape, and straight line in center only, that there should be provided a rise, and from starting to the center line there are straight lines. In center only provided the rise, and in parabolic and combination means there are some amount of straight line are to be provided, and some curved is to be provided in center, and some straight line is to be provided in the other edge. So these are the three types of cross slopes. And fourth one is median or a traffic separator. Median or traffic separator means these are the separating the lanes. We have to see the diagram that I show you on diagram. Say yeah, this is the median. See in this image where the trees are planted and some conings are provided at this present area. This area is known as one minute guys. This area is known as median generally. Then we have to coming to the definition of that. Median is provided between the two set of traffic lanes intended to divide the traffic movement in opposite direction. Yes, you know that, all of you know that highways, from one way Chennai to Kolkata is one way, Kolkata to Chennai is opposite direction. In that both lanes there are 3 meters or 5 meters median is to be provided for the separating of the traffic moving to opposite directions. Okay, the main function of the median is to prevent head-on collisions. Head-on collisions means two vehicles are coming to the opposite direction. both vehicles are head to head, collision is to be occurred if the median is not provided. For that reason, we have to provide in the national highways or state highways is the median is to be provided generally. And some trunk roads, cities, see in our Nellore city, for example, in our Nellore city, mini bypass also provided the divider, that is the median, that is also called as median. In children's park road also provided the median, some raised curb median is there. Based on that, based on the traffic movement, based on the lane, that median width is to be considered. There are some IRC recommendations are there for the median width. See IRC recommendations. As per the IRC, expressways desirable maximum 15 meters to be provided, median is to be provided, minimum 10 meters. Other highways 5 meters. Other highways means state highways, national highways, there are maximum 5 meters and the minimum is 3 meters. At intersection of the urban roads, intersections where the 2 or 3 lanes are connected at points, that intersection roads have to provide 5 meters maximum, 1.2 meters minimum, based on the land area, traffic land area. On long bridges like Penna Barrage Bridge, in that areas 1.5 meters median maximum, minimum is 1.2 meters. So this is regarding the median and width of the median. So then another one is curb. So curb, that is curb is the boundary between the pavement and median or footpath or shoulder, and this is the maybe raised curb are there. This means some division of the pavement or median or footpath or shoulder. See in this image diagram, see in this image, this is in left hand side, you see that raised curb is to be provided for the concrete. With the concrete there are raised curb is to be provided. Okay, then these are the two types of curbs are there: low curb, semi barrier curb, and barrier type curbs. Okay guys, remaining topics we will see for the another video, because of huge memory is required for sending this video. Okay, remaining I will discuss you in the another video. Okay, up to now we have discussed up to curb.